There's a key framework for creating a YouTube ad. It doesn't matter if you're 6, 7, 8, 9 figures. If you're looking for direct response ads, follow this framework. Hook, educate, call to action.
Aleric Heck is the owner of AdOutreach, where he empowers entrepreneurs to harness the power of value-driven video and grow their businesses on YouTube.
The results are better now if you know how to target the right way.
In the past decade, things have changed so much. What were the key changes that happened?
One of the biggest changes was this change was really a big shift to get the best results on YouTube.
What are the most common mistakes with different types of ads?
People make too short of an ad. Another big mistake is on the targeting. You want to target people based on and build your own audience.
How are you leveraging AI to stand out?
If you ask ChatGPT to write you a YouTube ad script, it's not going to be that great. The power is in building your own tool and having it solve the problems you're looking to solve.
So please welcome Aleric Heck on the show today. Hey, Aleric.
How's it going? It's great. It's great to be here. Thank you so much for having me on. This is awesome.
Yeah, I truly appreciate it. I would love to talk about your very first online venture that was actually AppFind. And I was just reading your story. It's like you were being prior to that, you were given the iPod and your parents actually told you, just go and make it work out with this and see how you can make it creative for you personally. So how was the journey look like from getting an iPod in the first place to be in the creative side of creating a channel, being so young at that time, and then go from there? Would love to know that story.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so I actually, started out just on YouTube filming just random videos like a lot of people do. And that was back in 2008, 2009. I was recording, some sketch videos. I had taught myself how to edit Adobe Premiere. And I started posting videos on the channel. And one day, when I got the iPod Touch, my parents hey, make sure you do something creative with this. And I was like, there's all these apps on the App Store. And I'd gotten, an iTunes gift card. And all the apps were paid apps at the time, right? It wasn't the free, model that it is today. And so in order for people to know, is an app good or not, they kind of needed to see a review. And so what I did was I went ahead and bought a bunch of the apps, and then I just created reviews on my YouTube channel. And what I realized is a lot of people were watching those videos more than my regular videos. And so I created a new channel back in 2009 called AppFind, where I was reviewing mobile apps, teaching people how to use tech. I started diving into tech tutorials. So beyond just kind of lists of the best apps and reviewing different apps, I also started teaching people how to use their iPhone. And some of those videos got millions and millions of views, teaching people how to use their iPhone for the first time. It's actually really cool to hear that you watched the channel, in the past, which is awesome. And so I created that channel. It really started to grow, especially the heyday of mobile apps. A lot of people were looking for the best apps. People were getting an iPhone for the first time, an iPod Touch for the first time. They were learning, what are the best apps and how to use the iPhone. And so the channel started growing pretty quickly, hitting 100,000 subscribers, then 500,000 subscribers, and, really just helping people discover the best mobile apps. And that also led me into the world of YouTube ads because I started to, promote all these different apps, and the developers asked, well, how can we get more people to see these videos? And that's when I said, well, what if we run an ad to show these videos to more people who might be interested in your app? And so I started to do that back in, I was 2014, 2015. And I was doing YouTube ads for these mobile app companies. And it really started to take off, driving millions of downloads. And that's when I realized, wait a second, this is something big. And so I shifted away my focus from the channel, and the channel still runs. I actually have a guy, Justin, out in California who now continues to run the channel. But now I shifted my focus over to the YouTube ad side of things and started helping people use YouTube ads to get originally app downloads. And then I transitioned to more coaches, consultants, expert-based businesses, the whole ClickFunnels community, that whole world, helping people with YouTube ads.
Yeah, love it. So that transition that actually, and I was I was reading your story, which you were mentioning that the very first actual promotion, which led you to have that epiphany of I can even use the ad side of YouTube as well, apart from organic, to make these things work out. From there, what was the the major thing that actually got into your mind, or what was your major epiphany to be okay, I can really treat the ad side of it as a business as well, apart from like being only organic?
Yeah, that's where I started to see the power of ads and actually being able to get a return. And so, I went to HubSpot Inbound back in 2016, and I was doing the YouTube ad side of things, and I had the YouTube channel, and I was kind of splitting my focus. And that's when I saw the ClickFunnels booth there, and that is when I discovered really the power of YouTube to actually help people with a funnel, to actually get those funnels and those products and services in front of more people. And that's when I had started to dive in and say, okay, well, how can I go and run YouTube ads for more types of businesses, train more businesses on YouTube ads? And I think a lot of that came out of going to HubSpot Inbound, signing up for ClickFunnels. Shortly thereafter, I joined my first mastermind. I got surrounded with other people. And these were a lot of coaches, consultants, service providers, agencies, people who were going, and oftentimes they were running Facebook ads to a webinar. And I started running YouTube ads to a webinar. And I got better results than most of the people in the mastermind. So everybody was looking and saying, how are you getting those results? And I said, well, I'm doing very similar things to what all of you are doing. I'm just using YouTube ads instead of Facebook ads. And that's when people started asking me to teach them. And that's when I started to teach different people how YouTube ads work.
So in the past decade, I'm pretty sure like you've noticed the things that probably have or like had changed in the past like decade, if we talk about even for YouTube as well, because things have like changed so much rapidly, not only in YouTube, but also on the other side of the social media platform as well, such as like Facebook or even like Instagram, etc. So like what were the like key changes that actually happened in the past decade of the YouTube ad side of it, like how things got different or even like difficult for some people?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it definitely has evolved over time. I've seen the different iterations, been right there on the cutting edge of what strategies work best. One of the biggest changes was going from more placement and content-based targeting over to audience-based targeting. This happened 2.5 years ago. And this change was really a big shift from targeting ads in front of specific videos, placements, targeting in front of keywords, which had collection of videos, topics of videos, shifting over to targeting based on who the people were and more audience-based targeting, and actually injecting Google's AI and all the data that they knew about every single user and actually targeting people based on that, based on who that person is, what they're interested in, and what they're looking for. And so that's where I shifted over to doing more audience-based targeting, because Google was saying, hey, we're actually phasing out content targeting. We're going over to audience targeting. And one of the things that I did alongside that is I actually built a software, keyword search, it's keywordsearch.com, that does AI ad targeting for YouTube and Google ads, because I saw the direction of going into more AI targeting and audience-based targeting and how important that was to get the best results on YouTube. And that is one of the biggest shifts, was going from targeting in front of specific videos. So you'd say, hey, I want to run an ad in front of this video or videos with these keywords, to saying, no, I want to run ads in front of this type of person, this specific type of person, this audience segment, based on what they're searching for on YouTube or Google, who they are, details about them. Do they own a business? What are they doing? So all of these different details that Google knows inside of these audiences that you can build, that's how you can target now. And honestly, the results are actually much, much better now if you know how to target the right way. And that's, I think, the key area. And that's why, I'm here to really educate and teach people, the elements of creating a great YouTube ad and targeting it in front of the right people.
I mean, like, that's really interesting, especially the way that you've actually mentioned that things have been like shifted from the keyword based targeting to actually the audience based, and we can like go in and target specific sort of audience to really like either narrow it down or really be able to like identify like who we actually want to target, or like some similar audiences we actually want to target, and just like go all in with it, right?
Exactly. And you can build your own audiences. So unlike other platforms like Facebook or LinkedIn, where you're going in, or TikTok, and you're going in, you're saying, okay, there's this list of pre-built audiences. On Google and YouTube, you build your own. So you're literally given a text field where you can put in, let's say you're a weight loss coach or a fitness coach, you can put in people who are interested in weight loss, losing weight, fitness, workout videos, all of that, and you can basically create your own audience. Same thing, you can target people based on what they've searched for on YouTube or Google. Did they look up how to lose weight? Did they look up how to scale my business? Did they look up how to use ClickFunnels, how to build a funnel? What are these different things they're looking up, and then targeting them that way? It is pretty powerful.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, like, apart from that, I would really love to know about a different set of businesses and how using YouTube or YouTube ads or different types of ways of like using YouTube in terms of like the ad side of it is differentiating every single sort of like a characteristic. So, for example, if somebody is like probably like making like 6 figures a year to 7 figures per year to 8 figures and 9 figures per year, like, is there any like core fundamentals or frameworks remains the same, or like things get different from these like different revenue perspective?
Yeah, I can give you a couple of really good frameworks here, and also give a gift at the end for all the listeners that kind of covers some of this more in depth too. It's like we got a PDF,
Sure.
but essentially one of the big things is to really know that there's a key framework for creating a YouTube ad. It doesn't matter if you're 6, 7, 8, 9 figures. If you're looking for direct response ads, which means that you're looking to have somebody watch the video and then actually take action to sign up, whether it's a lead magnet, a training, a webinar, a PDF, buying a product, whatever it happens to be that you're sending people to, booking a call. Ultimately, what you want to do is follow this framework. It's hook, educate, call to action. You draw people in with a hook, you capture their attention, then you educate them, you provide value in the ad, you teach them, and then you have a clear and concise call to action at the end that gets them to take the action that you're looking for. Whether that's, again, signing up for a training, downloading a PDF, opting into something. It's hook, educate, call to action. That's the key.
Yeah, love it. So like apart from that, like what are the most common mistakes that you actually saw like people with having the YouTube ad sites running with different types of ads? What are the most common mistakes you see like most people make and you're like, I knew like this is something I was expecting, but people made it either ways.
Yeah, so on the ad side, I think people make too short of an ad. You really want a 2 to 3 minute long ad that actually provides more education. So a lot of people, they'll just say, hey, do you have this problem? Okay, I'm going to go solve it. Click the link. But you're missing out by actually getting people to know, like, and trust you on the ad by providing value on the ad. On the other side, another big mistake that a lot of people make is on the targeting. And there's a couple of mistakes. So, one is they don't really get granular in targeting. They're targeting really big audiences, or they're just targeting only pre-built Google audiences. Now, that's not a complete mistake, but it's kind of like buying the S&P 500, right? If you're just doing the standard stock audiences, you're going to get results, but it's going to take a long time. It is going to be consistent. It's going to be dependable, but you're not necessarily going to get the alpha results or returns that you can get by building your own audiences and training the AI. That's why we call our strategy the Alpha AI targeting strategy. Because if you're just using Google's basic audiences, you're just going to get results like this. But if you want hockey stick results that can go much better, much faster, like this rocket ship behind me, what you want to do is you want to target people based on a custom audience and actually build your own audience. So you can target people based on what they've searched before on YouTube and Google, based on interests that Google knows about them using all the data, right? So who they are, what they're interested in, what their behaviors are. You can also target people based on apps they have on their phone. And you can even target people based on URLs, websites that they've gone on. You can put in URL targeting and actually go and target people based on going to your competitor sites or complementary sites and target your ideal clients based on that. So we can go in and target people that, and this isn't a competitor. This is more like, hey, this is actually, if they use this, then we know they're an ideal client. If they use ClickFunnels or they use Kajabi or Webinar Jam or whatever it is, great. This is an ideal potential client. Let me go and target all the people that use these different platforms, and I can go and reach them because I know the people who use these platforms are likely looking for ads, and I can go and support them with our ads. And so what you can do is go and build that out, and that gets alpha results better than the average by training the AI. And that's the key.
Getting the better idea of the audiences instead of just in most cases not only just relying on the audiences that been given by Google itself, correct?
Exactly. Building out your own audiences to get better results than the average.
So like, what are the things that you think about that people should know prior to start running YouTube ads that they don't know about, and they don't even like bother to think, and they just kind of like, jump ship into it, and then they're like, oh, we messed up and stuff like that. So what are the most common things that you feel like people should know about prior to like start running YouTube ads, but they don't know about it?
Yeah, so there's a couple different things. In terms of the targeting side, you do want to really pay attention to some of the pre-built, or some of the kind of like initial targeting options. So there's a baseline of different things you want to enable or not enable. So Google has a new element where they will create AI generated videos for you. They'll basically it's in one of the advanced settings. They toggle it on by default, and you don't want them to do that. You don't want them to just create random videos. They'll take your existing video clips, they'll repurpose them, they'll take horizontal videos, turn it into short form videos. You want to turn that off. And you also want to go and make sure that you're excluding either specific topics or specific placements, different websites that you don't want to get in front of, specific mobile apps. So you show up more on the YouTube platform. You're going to show up on the display network a bit too, but there's ways to go in and exclude different areas so that you don't actually kind of show up in low quality placements, and you're more focused on showing up specifically on the YouTube platform itself. When it comes to other mistakes people make is not doing enough keyword research based on what people are searching for on YouTube or Google. That's why I built a software, keyword search. Basically, it does AI ad targeting. People just describe their business, click generate, and it'll give you all the different search terms people are searching for on YouTube, on Google, interests they might have. And then in one click, you can go ahead and sync those over to Google Ads to actually target those audiences.
Yeah. So for the people who are also listening to the podcast, we'll also definitely going to add the link of the software in the description, also in the show notes down below, so you guys can also be able to check out rather than getting panicked about like where it is. But on the flip side, like since you're also like talking about like AI, and I remember like I actually interviewed like a couple episodes back like David Melzer on the podcast, and he was talking something about like tools, anything. It could be anything, AI or anything. It could be a weapon or a crutch. So it depends upon like who's actually using it. So for somebody like you, like how you're actually leveraging AI to the fullest level, where you're able to stand yourself out from all the other people, and but not be able to, definitely one, stand yourself out from other people, so that not everything looks like exactly the same, where people like, it's AI, let's skip it. So like, what do you think about it?
Yeah, and I think that the big thing is actually us developing our own AI. So I think a lot of different people are, looking at different ChatGPT plugins or using ChatGPT or using kind of more generic things. I'll give you an example. We developed an AI that does AI YouTube ad script writing. Now, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to get you 80, 90% there. But that's going to be a lot better than the standard. Like if you ask ChatGPT to write you a YouTube ad script, it's not going to be that great, because it doesn't know the fundamentals of what actually creates the best script. What we did with our AI is we plugged in our 400 best YouTube ad scripts, trained the AI in what a great YouTube ad script looks like. We've done thousands of these scripts. We took our top 400 that have performed the best. We trained the AI on those, and then we can have it write scripts based on that same type of data. And so essentially, there's ways to build your own AI. We also built with keyword search an AI that will help you find ad targeting options based on what your business is. It'll read your website. It'll go in, it'll understand, okay, to target the right people, we got to target this and this. And essentially it can actually go and figure out who your ideal client is, what they're searching for on YouTube and Google, and help you build out audiences. So we've got a developer, or we got a CTO, we got our development team, and we're diving in and actually have built out a full software for us and our clients to use. And I think that is an element that's unique, because I think a lot of people are using the same cookie cutter AI tools like you're talking about. But I think the power is in building your own tool and having it, solve the problems you're looking to solve.
So it means like applying your own frameworks into AI, so that you'll be able to expedite the process much faster than what you were doing manually, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Building it out for yourself.
That's definitely great. So like since you've been directly or indirectly been in this space for almost like 15 years, like starting from the YouTube channel, from the creative standpoint to the business standpoint. I would love to know, like, what are the mistakes that you made that you would have like avoided other ways, like now what you know now, so that like other people who are maybe like in the part of that process could avoid, like, earlier on, to save much of their time initially.
Yeah, I think that there are some really interesting mistakes. I think one of the biggest mistakes was, not focusing on a team of just A players set fast enough, trying to cultivate more A players. And I think that we found is, especially with a lot of our fast growth, like we were on the Inc. 5000, like
Yeah,
number 60 fastest
that's
growing
amazing.
company. And when you grow that fast, sometimes not all the people on the team keep up with that or are the best fit for where you are now. Maybe they joined here, but you're now up here. And ultimately, it's actually doing them a disservice to not allow them to go someplace else if they're not the best fit for the company. But you also want to make sure that you are having the best people on the company. And so I think that for a long time, I didn't want to really let people go. I kept a lot of people on the ship, but it's not just not the best for the business if they're not necessarily at the level that we need them to be. It's also not the best for them either, because it's going to create more stress and not the best environment. And so one of the things is when you're scaling really fast, people could be an A player here, but when your business grows to here, they may not be an A player anymore, at least for your business. And so it's actually doing them and doing your business a disservice not to essentially redeploy them back into the the workforce so they can find a role where they're going to be best utilized.
Yeah, that's really amazing. And I remember, like, one of my coaches actually said to me, like, if you're not able to identify who's an A player in your team, you don't have one. Like, you don't have one. That's the main reason why you aren't able
Yep.
to like identify like who's an A player in your team. So I would love to know about like more of your like upcoming ventures, like what's going on in terms of like helping other coaches and consultant from the service standpoint, and from the other general audience who's also like willing to learn, like, more from you about like how they can like capitalize on the YouTube ad side of it, and how they can work on it as well.
Absolutely. So we've got a lot of different ways that we support people with YouTube ads, and we actually have a variety, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing for a long time. We've been not only kind of writing the book on this and helping and building all the playbooks for our clients, but also we've been developing the software. So there's multiple ways that we support people. We go in, and our most popular option is kind of a done with you, done together process, where we help our clients set up the ads. We're writing the scripts for them. We're helping them get them set up, and then we're training them on how it works so that they understand it, and they have somebody, either themselves or somebody on their team, that can run the ads long term. So it's a hybrid, done together process. That's our most popular way to support people with YouTube ads, because then we're installing it into their business. We're teaching them how it works, either the entrepreneur themselves, their marketing director, a media buyer, or an operations person, just somebody on their team that really can dive in, understand the process, have us help build it out, and then they can take it and run with it. That's our most popular way that we support clients. We also have some clients that we run ads for. So we've got a fractional media buyer offer that is very exclusive. That's more for really 7-figure or 8-figure
Yeah.
coaches, consultants, and experts that are looking to scale to that next level through YouTube ads. They want the best team running it. We have our fractional media buyer taking one of our top YouTube ads media buyers to run their ads for them. And then we also have a course as well. So maybe people who are just starting out, they might not quite be ready for the hands-on approach or the done for you. And so they want to do it themselves. We also have a course as well. And the best way to kind of see what's the best path is to just go to adoutreach.com/apply and book a quick 20-minute call, and we can see, okay, which of these paths might be the best for you. There'll also be a link in the PDF. I'm going to give everybody a free gift, kind of walking through. And then we also help people with the software. So keywordsearch.com, that's the AI ad targeting software that also is going to really support people in targeting their ideal clients through YouTube ads.
That's amazing. I will definitely gonna post up all the links in the description down below, also in the show notes. I don't want to take a lot of your time, Aleric. First of all, like, thank you so much for being on the show today out there. And for the people who want to follow you, and if they're living under the rock, like how they can follow you and be the part of your world.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on. And I got to make sure, of course, a man of my word, I want to give everybody the free gift. We've got a 19-page YouTube ad strategy PDF, breaks it down step by step. You can go to adoutreach.com/gift. That's ADOUTREACH.com/GIFT, adoutreach.com/gift. You can download the full 19-page YouTube ad strategy PDF. After that, you'll also find the link to book a strategy call as well. You can follow me on all major platforms, but of course, YouTube is my favorite.
Yep.
You can just look up Aleric Heck on YouTube. You can follow me there. And if you are on social media, you can follow me, of course, Facebook and LinkedIn. I'm on there too. Not on Twitter as much, but I post from time to time. But YouTube and Facebook are probably the best places to go and find me. And yeah, definitely excited to support you and using YouTube ads.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And very last thing I want to say before we round the show up is like, any last message you want to say before we round the show up, actually?
Yeah, I'm just really excited for people to dive in, discover the power of YouTube ads. Thank you so much again for having me on here, RJ. This has been fantastic, and really love diving in here. Also, it's great to hear that you loved watching AppFind when you were younger
Yep.
too. It's a small world, so we're coming back around full circle. I also have to say I really admire and respect, like, you've got such a great energy and persistence, and you commented on a bunch of I think my posts on Facebook and reached out a bunch to have me hop on here, and you can really tell I'm excited to see where you go in the future as well. So thank you so much for having me on, RJ.
Truly appreciate you. And again, Aleric, thank you so much for being on the show. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. We're definitely going to see you guys in the next episode. Until then, peace out.